Hi YouTube, it's Jeremy right here. We're roughly entering the middle of July 2025, and I'm checking this tiny 1 gallon unfiltered natural substrate neocaridina shrimp tank that has been basically unmodified for about a year. It has had, I think, 2 partial water changes, but that's really the only maintenance that this has had, other than removing plant matter and adding a little bit of food every once in a while. I don't feed this tank very often, maybe every 2 weeks at this point. I started with a handful of adult orange neo shrimp, and now I have probably a dozen or more baby and juveniles, and I think I'm down to 2 adults, but their lifespan is roughly 1 to 2 years. So I got them when they were all definitely adults. Let's see if we can get a focus on one of the adults back there. Maybe not. Maybe we're just not going to get a focus there at the moment. Anyway, if we were just to take a view across the bottom of the tank and just look around, we will see lots of little shrimp. Seed shrimp, you can see that guy kind of swimming around towards the top. So yeah, this tank's unfiltered. There's no real water circulation. It kind of breaks a lot of the rules of what people say you should do and must do and have to do when it comes to keeping shrimp in general. And that was sort of my intention, was to show people that no, you don't. Now, I did have a problem with this tank. Going back about a week to maybe 2 weeks ago, for some reason I had a light failure, and it took me a little bit to recognize that the light just wasn't coming on. So that probably interrupted our food web and the nutrient chain, and I've been fearful that could have caused some disruption. In that time, I think one of my adults perished. So I went from 3 to 2 adult Neos, and that, really bothered me because I felt like I should have been a little more vigilant. I should have noticed what was going on more quickly, but I didn't. This tank is sort of over here in one corner of my living room, and I don't come over here very often, just to be honest. But interesting tank. They've been feeding on that little dying stem of, I think it was a sword. But yeah, that's been going for a little bit. I'm honestly kind of to the point where I'd like to add some more plant diversity in here. But there's one of the younger batches. Two different broods that were maybe a month or 2 apart. And it looks like a seed shrimp swimming up to our left. I do enjoy this tank, even though I don't spend enough time on it. So let's see if we can get a look at from the ends. Little ram's horn snail's definitely got something funky going on. I can't tell if that's a worm feeding on it or what. I think that's what's going on though. There, top center. Maybe not. Maybe it's still okay. There's quite a bit of invertebrate stuff going on in here. The Malaysian trumpet snail shells were all dead in some substrate from a tank that I got from someone else. So yes, there are MTS shells in here. No, I didn't kill them. They were in this mix before we ever established this tank. But it is pretty interesting watching these guys go through and basically make their way. I can't tell if we're looking at 3 or 2. I think that's yeah, dead center. That's another one. It's just not moving a lot. Sometimes it's the eyes that give them away. And I've been surprised. Some of them have bright orange eyes. Others seem to have black or even paler eyes. Yeah, that snail's kind of confusing me. I don't really know what's going on there. Just to be perfectly honest, that's a strange thing to me. If anyone has ideas about that, let me know. But I've never really seen a ram's horn operate like that, and I don't know what that thing is. I've looked at a lot of ram's horns. So let's go maybe peek at the other side. Yeah, there certainly might be more young shrimp in here than I was aware of, but they're just so hard to count. Anyway, that's sort of what we have going on in here. Thanks for following. There's an adult hanging out back there. I guess we're going to be signing off. So this was a sort of a chill tank talk aquarium video today. If you do like this sort of thing, drop me a comment. Let me know who you are, what part of the world you're in, and I would love to hear from you. Otherwise, Jeremy Wright with the Arkansas Planet Aquarium Club signing off for the day. Thank you very much.